Hello everybody, welcome back to another video where today we have a very awesome team for you guys. Now this team, I don't believe I've featured before, but it is my most used team overall in the Great League. I have over 2,000 wins, so this team has accounted for a lot of those wins. And that team is Alolan, Marowak, Vigoroth, and Azumarill. Now that last Mon, Azumarill, has been swapped out in the past for a bunch of different other ones, just because I feel like the core of Alolan, Marowak, and Vigoroth just works so well together, and I'm not sure why, but it just does. I love Vigoroth, I love its moveset. This team is a little bad, or a little, not bad, but a little worse these days because of Trevenant. Trevenant does pretty well against all of this team. It completely hard walls Vigoroth. It's one of the only Mons in the game that hard wall Vigoroth. Vigoroth actually has a very good game if you've been paying attention here. It has a very, very good game, mid-game here, and dominates this particular matchup. It just shows you how good Vigoroth is. Now, one of the things that, and here we go, it's going to throw the bulldoze here at the poison dark type, right, and do a significant chunk of damage there. That is a non-stab bulldoze. Bulldoze is a pretty poop move, but it still does a ton of damage there. They're going to end up throwing a crunch. We swap our one mon in. We're swapping Marowak in there because Azumarill is going to get super effective damage from the poison types, and they're both dark types, so Azumarill really is going to have to carry this last match. I decided not to run Play Rough here because I need the Hydro Pump for the steel types. I really, really need it, especially Galarian Stunfisk. We have a really good matchup in the back against Galarian Stunfisk since we do run both Hydro Pump and Vigoroth there. So anyways, this team is insane. I love this team so much, and as soon as I get my Shadow Alolan Marowak powered up and ready for the Great League, I will be running it in this team, and I'll have another video for you guys once I do have that. But it's still a little bit long, a little bit further away. I don't have enough Stardust, and I don't have enough candies to be powering up my Marowak currently. But that's okay. We do trudge on here. I saw a lot of Galarian Stunfisk leads today. This is one of them that I did end up seeing. It's just, you know, I don't even know what to say. Galarian Stunfisk is going to be everywhere in your games. I think I'm going to make a video later on this week or in a couple of days here detailing Mons that you should just be building right away if you're getting into Pokemon Go Battle League. Just because there is a ton of good Mons, right? But I don't want you spending all your Stardust on some Mon like, for say, Vigoroth, and you feel like it's not like hard carrying games. It's not meant to hard carry games. Vigoroth is there to really support all of your other Mons. Alolan Marowak, for example, is going to be carrying the game, while Vigoroth is the one that really just helps support it. Though, that Galarian Stunfisk there, let us farm it completely down. We're going to be able to throw 3 body slams at this Swampert here, and then I'm going to swap in. I thought he might throw the Hydro Cannon there, so I was hoping to get a swap. Unfortunately, okay, well, he does not have Sludge Wave, which would be doing a ton of damage to Azumarill. He instead only has Hydro Cannon and Earthquake, so we're going to let this Hydro Cannon go. We don't have a really choice here. A lot of Ferrothorns also in today's video. A lot of Ferrothorns. Double Steel is everywhere in the meta right now. So running a team like this is a very good idea. You have very positive matchups in every position against Steel types. Obviously, this is a kind of a different Steel type, right? It is a Grass type as well, which means it's going to be able to hit this Azumarill here for super effective damage. They are extremely loaded, so we are instead going to go in to the Vigoroth and let them throw their energy at the Vigoroth, and then we're going to be able to farm down with Alolan Marowak. Again, showing that supporting role there, Vigoroth, taking the charge move so that Alolan Marowak can farm down, because I'd rather be throwing a body slam. They unfortunately catch the charge move here. Shouldn't have done any bubbles because we might have not taken out. Fortunately, though, Shadowbone is 5-4-5-4 on the fire spins there, so we are going to get to it very quickly and win that game. So that was a very close game there, but I think the big play was letting Alolan, Marowak, or Vigoroth tank that charge move, and then Alolan, Marowak farm down. We wouldn't have won otherwise. They're going to have a Shadow Torterra into a Sharpedo. Now, if you're in this matchup and you're running my team, definitely go into Vigoroth here. Vigoroth's counters are going to be doing an insane amount of damage. We go into a Azumarill, which isn't terrible. They are running the Bite form. It's going to resist all moves, but it does have access to Poison Fang. Going to do a huge chunk of damage. Fortunately, we'll be able to get to another Ice Beam here. This Ice Beam is going to pressure the second shield. Sharpedo does an insane amount of damage. As you can see, it completely... Oh my gosh, we lost on 1 HP. But Sharpedo does an insane amount of damage, but it is extremely squishy. It's one of the squishiest mons. They're going to swap in, which honestly, not the best idea. I wanted to swap into that Sharpedo and get 1 Fire Spin worth of energy, but instead they swap in the Torterra, and then they swap in Sharpedo, so they must have had a very bad matchup in the back there for Alolan Marowak. We are going to instead go into the next match and see another Galarian Stunfisk lead. What I end up liking to do in these leads is build up to the Shadow Bone. Always, they're going to, most of the time, throw the Rock Slide. Some will decide to build up. Then I'm going to swap in my Vigoroth. And this time they do have a counter user, but the counter user that they do end up having is going to be Lucario, which is going to take super effective damage from our counters. And this is a perfect spot where I could definitely flip switch here or get the last shield. And as you can see, we were able to get to the Body Slam, which would be taking out the Lucario, another very squishy mon here. I should have probably, as you can see, thrown that Bone Club there and not had to use my last shield. Unfortunately, they bait. I could have possibly just called that bait there and said that they may or may not have gotten up to the Shadow Ball. We're going to be throwing the Shadow Bone against this Alolan Marowak. Does a nice chunk of damage. I try and swap. It throws the fast move. I try to swap. That's a little frustrating for me. And you'll see why. Because we're going to end up farming down this Stunfisk here. Stunfisk is going to throw the Rock Slide, which does a bit of neutral damage there. And they are going to be swapping in a Ferrothorn. Another Ferrothorn, another G-Stunfisk, another double steal. Very unfortunate. A Ferrothorn in the back. I don't know why people are running it. It's got a good moveset. It's definitely a very good mon. It's just not something that you constantly see all the time. And yeah, that's just not going to be a game I'm going to be able to win. Hopping into the next one, though, against Samanfa, I don't even know. Alolan Ninetales on the lead. Very good positive lead, especially with that Fire Spin. They're going to swap into Gengar. And here's the thing. This matchup is actually pretty decent for Vigoroth, even though the counters are triple resisted and the Body Slam is double resisted. The Bulldoze hits for super effective damage. And when they are not building up to the Sludge Bomb, they're only going to be throwing the Shadow Punches that do very, very resisted damage. We're going to be going through the Bulldoze here. Bulldoze KOs the Gengar. That was a huge KO there. And here's the thing about Vigoroth, man. It just gets to those Body Slams very, very quickly. Going to be able to shield pressure this Ninetales here. We do end up getting a shield. And Alolan Marowak is going to come back in. Going to sneak through a... or I guess I keep saying sneak through in these videos, but it's not sneak through anymore. You get a guaranteed one. We're going to end up throwing the Bone Club here. Bone Club is just going to bait this last shield. We really shouldn't be baiting since we're up a shield, but they are going to bring in the Visitrabel. And here I thought that they had a shield, so I was like, dang, I should have baited, right? But actually they did not have a shield because Visitrabel would do a ton of damage and a ton of work to our back line. Azumarill, obviously, going to do a ton of damage it's going to do a ton of damage to Azumarill. We're going to end up taking out the Alolan Ninetales with the Ice Beam there. And that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.